Hi, my name is Kacie Vaudrey, and I'm a doTERRA Presidential Diamond, and this is my sidekick, Lulu. When I was asked to speak on the topic of vision, I quickly realized how important having one was in building my business. Without it, I wouldn't be where I am today. At times, things were crystal clear and the path was laid out before me. Other times, I faced challenges that my heart and head could not simply overcome, and I had to adjust and realign. Regardless, one thing has stayed the same, and that's clarity. I've never lost sight of the physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial opportunity that this company has to offer. Serving others is my lifeblood. It gets me up in the morning and drives me to work very hard every single day. When I think about my journey in doTERRA and how I got to where I am, there really are no surprises. 7 years ago, I simply wanted to change my health and the health of my kiddos. I was searching for alternatives to habits and behaviors in my home that I simply wasn't proud of or no longer wanted to do. My intention was to get back into balance and take control over everything that my family was consuming. I fell in love with the company and the product. I attended my first convention 8 months after joining, and I was absolutely blown away. The integrity of the owners, the amazing wellness advocates that I was so fortunate enough to learn from, but mostly I was intrigued at what this could do for my life. I liked the life that successful people were living, and I looked up to the wellness advocates who were making a difference. My first convention, I literally cried for 3 days straight. The stories moved my heart, but ultimately it was my personal sadness that pushed me to make a decision and take massive action. At the time, I was in an unhealthy marriage, and financially, I couldn't afford to make a change. I was a professor at the university with absolutely no sales skills, so the thought of joining a multi-level marketing company and being successful was quite daunting. What I did have going for me, however, was the love of the product. I was 100% convinced that every single person needed this product in their home, and that conviction was sure to work in my favor. I could learn to do anything that would ultimately change my life. I was reading Beach Money at the time by Jordan Adler, and what intrigued me the most about his book is when he talks about committing to network marketing for 2 years and your life would never look the same. I knew if I had a clear roadmap, I could do anything for 2 years. I was hopeful and committed. I officially had a vision of a better life, and I was willing to sacrifice whatever it took of me to make it happen. My own upline, Peggy Smith, told me once, all I needed to do was go out and share the product and love on people every single day, and I would see the results that I was seeking. My vision became my plan. Step 1, become the creator of your life. Ask yourself the following questions. What do you want? Where will you be in 90 days, a year, 5 years? Are you happy with the path that you're on? Do you seek change? Do you want a better life? Do you want financial freedom? What is the most important thing to you? After asking yourself these questions, start to visualize yourself living the life that you design. What does this really look like? What would your life look like with an extra $1,500 or $5,000 a month? Create your vision board. Dream big, and remember, clarity is power. Step 2, create a massive action plan. For me, I knew I needed to hit Diamond and the $1,500 Power of 3 bonus in order to financially be equipped to change my situation. So I broke it down and created a plan. Step 1, purchase a planner. I cannot reiterate this enough. I've lost so many contacts over the course of my career just with the fact of being disorganized. So get yourself organized and figure out what your working hours are. Be realistic. If you have little kids at home, are you honestly going to be able to work during the day? Probably not. So your schedule needs to also work with your spouse or partner. So make sure you're organized and figure out those hours. What are you willing to put in? Also be honest with yourself about that. Also, you need to get organized from day 1. If you're giving out samples, you need to be tracking what you're giving out. So if you give out lemon to an individual, make sure that you write that down so that you don't forget. If you follow my plan that I'm about to share with you, you will be a very, very busy person, and ultimately you'll be making 20 plus contacts per month. So you want to make sure that you're on top of tracking and following up. Second thing I would suggest is breaking down your weekly activity. So since I was a full-time employee at the university, my time was limited. I had 10 to 15 hours, generally speaking organic hours, that were available to build this business. So I needed to make every single thing count. I committed to the following for 2 years. Not 1 week went by that I didn't work my hardest to achieve my goals. My why was clear enough that my activity truly mattered. So here I'm going to show you what my secret sauce was to getting to the ultimate goal of Presidential Diamond. So up here you'll see my master plan that I committed to weekly. So 5 to 8 new contacts. If you're struggling with where you're going to find these contacts, this might be a great opportunity to join a BNI, a networking group in your local town, meet with other moms, join play groups. There's lots of different ways. Right now we're really focused on doing studies, and that's also an effective way to get your name out and meet new people. Also, I recommend that you give out 5 to 8 samples, or allow 5 to 8 people have an experience every single week. On top of that, one class with minimum 4 to 5 attendees, or 4 to 5 one-on-ones per week. Yes, every single week. 1 hour of product business training. One suggestion I give you is grab an oil each week, read everything you can, start to have some testimonials, use it for different things in your home, and really fall in love with every single product so that you're at your best when you come across people that may have something going on that you're not prepared for. I also highly recommend 1 chapter of personal development per night or in the morning, whichever is your balancing time of the day. But don't falter from this, and don't take this lightly. It's very important that you continue to give yourself a little bit of love throughout the process. And at the end of the month, you should have, if you follow these steps, 5 to 8 new enrollments per month. Make this happen and don't falter from it. Be relentless. It's super important. The beauty for me was that if I did this, and just a cool little thing was if I made my 5 to 8 new contacts teaching 1 class, and I could spend the rest of the week doing additional things. So make this work into your schedule and your plan. The other thing I'd recommend is that you create your 30, 60, 90-day goal plan and stick to it. You have to be relentless. Remember, this is about your future. And the third step in the process is commit. So the second part to my vision was I wanted to get the oils into the lives of 1 million people. Why I chose that number, who knows? I just threw it out there. Maybe I was setting myself up for committing to doTERRA for the rest of my life. I have no idea. But that's what I visualized Team Peaceful Heart Leadership doing. Why not? I knew I couldn't do this alone, so right from the start, I asked for help. Each of my leaders has come into my life through my vision, and this is how my language looks like. Please feel free to use this. So as I'm sitting with an individual, someone that I really, really like, and they have the right energy, and I can see them as someone that I'd like to partner with, this is what I say, is I have a goal. I want to impact over 1 million lives through doTERRA, but I need help. Who do you know that might be interested in changing lives physically, emotionally, and financially? 10 out of 10 times the person wanted to work on the vision alongside with me. We naturally are here to serve, so generally this works into most women's lives. When I look at my numbers and where I am in this big picture goal, it breaks down like this. The average family has 5 individuals. Remember, I have a huge organization in Utah. Their family is generally larger. Most families on my team from Montana have 4 kids, so I just pulled an average of 5. Our organization has over 70,000 advocates and customers. This equates to about 350,000 individuals, give or take. Close, but not quite there. But then there's this factor. Sully, my son, who is a tad bit unfocused, started using Intune on his spine and at the base of his skull. Within a week, his teacher contacted me and asked me to never stop using this oil on him. Not only had it impacted Sully in his learning in the classroom, but it also impacted the 24 other kids that were there. I think you get where I'm going with this. I never plan on quitting doTERRA. Why would I? It's the most fulfilling career I've ever had. I credit my success to my vision and clarity on the master plan to make it happen. Not only did I reach my goal within 1 year, I was able to create momentum within my organization that truly changed my life. 4 years ago, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer and going through a divorce, I chose to take 6 months off to nurture myself and fight for my life. This is when I truly began to understand the power of this industry, and my vision grew in an even deeper way. I realized as I stepped away from the business that things continued to grow and multiply, including my check. Within 4 months, I went from diamond to blue diamond, and my $5,000 check quickly became $17,000. What I realized during this time period is that not only do I want to get the oils into the hands of 1 million people, but I truly want to help others like me find success and change their lives. I'm just an ordinary girl from Wyoming who saw an opportunity that could change her life. I took a leap of faith with a small skill set, but heart destined to make change. I faced obstacles just like you. Truthfully, I'm no different than you. I just made a decision and went for it. In summary, be the creator of your life. Make a decision and create a vision. Get organized, buy a planner, identify your working hours, create a master plan, and commit to 2 years. If you do, your life will never look the same.